Compliments. Hello and welcome to the 1989 Goldpin Coca-Cola Classic. This is a round two encounter between Harold Pryor and Greg Brooks. And of course, the winner of this tournament is off to Las Vegas to compete in the high roller tournament. So far, the round two matches have been fairly tight, and this one promises to be a tight encounter as well.
This should actually be a very, very close match here. Greg and Harold are very closely matched.
Good start from Greg Brooks.
That was a great start. You can't do any better. He gets one on the board, gets to sit back. We'll see it here. Dana, Greg throwing the outside line and really likes the bowl there.
Yeah, he's got a good reaction. I predict Greg to bowl really well. He's got that long trajectory with the ball, and it's got some back end, so he had to bowl well.
Harold Pryor. Strike for strike, these two. Harold Pryor, the 5th seed in the tournament. And a bit of support. He's 35 years of age, a bowling centre technician. First appearance in a Coca-Cola Classic. His record, an 87 Cool Foam Classic. And he competed in the Brunswick World Open in Chicago in 86. The East Coast Challenge Cup Masters. He has a high game of 300 and a high series of 746. In the first round, he defeated Tony Roderick 2-3-5 to 1-6-4. He's looking to make it a double here on lane 11. Went very wide, but boy, he turned that ball in nicely.
That was another great shot. Both players here love playing the outside. They love winging it right. You see here he gets up, whereas through the ball, gets right out to the edge of the lane, comes screaming back and just peels the pins apart.
And Greg Brooks from Taylor's Lakes in Victoria, 27 years of age, an upholsterer. This is his first appearance in a Coke. He was in the 88 Victorian team. In 89, he won the Newcastle Open, runner-up in the Launceston Cup and Victorian and Southgate Opens. He'd love to compete in the US on the Pro Tour, something which Dana Miller-Mackey has done. Let's wait for him on lane 12. His run comes to an end. Looks back, and you can talk us through this one, Terry.
Well, I think what do you think, Dana? He's just seemed to lose the ball?
Yeah, he lost it a bit, and you see him looking at his hand. He just lost it a second. He got a good break by making a makeable spare. And,
yes, he could have left the 7-pin with that as well, couldn't he?
Yeah, that's right. Got a good break. You notice they're both using the same type of ball.
Yeah, they're both using the wine U-dot.
Yep, that's right. And something that's a medium urethane, gets through the heads good, and then comes on the back end.
Takes it out, closes up the second frame. And the bowling here being appreciated by the crowd at the Logan City lanes as we watch the style of Greg Brooks.
Yes, Chris, this is an annoying spare. It's not really that difficult, but it's missed quite often. But he picks it up perfectly there. He'll be going over now, wanting to get back on track.
It's something that we novice bowlers certainly do miss.
Everybody misses, as we've seen here so often, even the really good miss. And that's the thing with this sport. You'll think you're good, and it'll jump up and grab you. But we'll see here. Greg wants to get a strike here, getting himself back on a roll.
A couple of extra pins dropping there, but a nasty spare coming up here.
Yes, this is what I was talking about before. You can be on a roll, but if you miss here, you just lose everything. You'll see here, Greg gets down, gets through the ball, lifts up, looks at it, says, uh-oh, it's gone high. I think he done it. Do you think he would have been better off with the extra pins actually standing? Like he's left himself a 6-7.
That's right.
And if he'd left those 3 on the back there, the spare's easier to make.
Something makeable there. This is still makeable. He's just got to hit it really thin to the right of this pin. Oh, that's a good try.
You really wouldn't have thought that was possible with the back ends we've got here, would you?
No, you wouldn't. And I think just on his first shot, he just got too much fingers in it. He didn't send it long enough. It was a good shot. Here, going at the spare. Excellent.
Harold Pryor here.
It.
As we watch that ball go through, coat of varnish on that. Harold Pryor shooting for a 300 game. If he can do that, it's worth a new Holden Nova SLE sedan. No, his run comes to an end. Of course, Motoroma Holden here in Springwood, putting up the new Nova for a perfect game of 300. That's 12 strikes in a row. Certainly Harold's not going to do it.
No, and Andrew Hancock's just put the keys back in his pocket once more.
He can put them in mine if he likes. Back to serious business. Pin cam there showing us what happened to Harold. He too was a nasty split.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. When you miss, you miss.
Takes out 3 more. So both bowlers with an open frame at the end of the 3rd. And Harold Pryor leads by 5 pins at the bottom of the 3rd.
Here's Greg. You know, Harold's open 2 frames. Greg puts 2 away here. He's well and truly in the lead.
He too, not quite on target. Dana, they're not reading it correctly at this stage?
I don't think so. I don't think either one of them's far enough in to the oil line. I think they're both... Now, Greg moved out. He moved out and tried to send it down longer, and it came even harder. I think the one to move in, I think they need to move into the oil instead of swinging out there further and further in the drive.
Is that a non-verbal sign when they're looking up at the scoreboard, looking at themselves in the monitor, trying to think, well, what am I doing wrong?
I think so. I think lanes change as lights are on them and people bowl on them. I don't think people realize how much they change, and they've changed, and it's going to be who makes the adjustment first.
And another open frame here from Greg Brooks. So the bowlers have slipped down a gear. We'll have a look at his footwork here, and you can tell us if it's correct, Terry.
Well, he seems to be walking correct. He's just straight down. His foot goes in, twists a little bit at the end, but not really a problem. He's really trying to get the ball out there because the lane almost picks a spare up. He really wanted to do that, push the 3 into the 7. He really only just missed that. But again, now we're into the situation where they've both opened the last 2 frames. They both just want to get a strike. They want to stay clean. They just want to get something going.
Yeah, could this be the start of something? A smile there from the Victoria. He likes it. The crowd appreciate that performance. He looks up at the scoreboard just to check out what's happening as we check his style.
Dan, that was a better roll on the ball. More forward?
Yes, more forward, and he sends it up about 7 board in between the 1st and 2nd arrow instead of down 5.
So he's moved into the oil.
Yes.
The interim, Harold Pryor, has put down what I would refer as a shocker.
That leave is actually called a Greek church in bowling. He's left it twice on lane 12. Lane 12 seems to be the determining factor in this match. He's just got to stay clean. Dana, this situation where you're just going open, what do you think of?
Well, I think if it were me and I was Harold, I might try to a harder ball if he wants to stay with that line. Otherwise, I'd move in, maybe break my wrist down and try to send the ball longer, not put so much hook on it.
Well, the lane's giving it heaps of hook at the moment, so and just play more direct.
More direct, that would be the case. And if he's not able to do that, go more direct, then he needs a harder surface ball.
Back to lane 11. Let's see what he can do.
There he switched balls.
Went wide, but it didn't turn as far as he thought it would.
Yes, he went to a harder ball. That was a good adjustment. And lane 11, although, is tighter, you see. So he's trying to send this one. It doesn't come back. Now, that ball will work if he moves out and tightens up his line. I think he'll get to the hole with that ball. At least he'll have a chance with it.
Do you think he sort of misread it a little bit because he's gone to the straighter ball and the straighter lane, and the 2 things he didn't make the right adjustment?
Yeah, I don't think he's yet read that 12 does hook more than 11. He's thinking they're hooking the same.
There it is. Gives himself a little bit of applause. I think it was more for the pins dropping than anything else. And at least he closes up the frame after a couple of open ones.
Well, here we see he goes. Really, here would have been an ideal opportunity to try a different line.
Yes.
Like, I know with myself, when I've played, if you've left the head pin, then it's an opportunity to have a free practice shot.
That's right. Exactly right.
The upholsterer from Taylor's Lakes in Victoria, 27 years of age. First appearance in a Coca-Cola Classic. See what he can do, Greg Brooks. Oh, that's a good double there for Brooks. Now he's starting to show his ascendancy. In the first round, he defeated Paul Morland, 214 to 193, as we watch this again.
Dana, he stayed with that outside line, but again, changed his release?
Yes, he changed his release. He didn't hit up as much on it. He sent it, seemed like he might have flattened it out a bit and just had a very soft shot instead of hitting up through it.
Take a break on Nine's Wide World of Sports as Greg Brooks leads by 8 pins over Harold Pryor. At Logan City Lanes, looking down the lane back at the bowlers. Greg Brooks about to start the 7th frame. He's from Taylor's Lakes in Victoria, up against Harold Pryor from Mount Gravatt in Queensland. And at the moment, Brooks leads by 8 pins, but he's coming off a double. And there's his opponent, taking in a few short breaths.
Well, Harold really needs to collect himself. But Greg here has a great opportunity to really take control of this match.
Yeah, went wide, ball came back, and he liked it, went down on all fours, and that gives him a turkey, a triple, 3 strikes in a row.
That's what it is, Chris. Again, Dana, he's broken his wrist. He's got that ball going straight, playing it more forward roll. Ball's not overreacting.
Exactly right. Plus he moved in. He's going now 7-5 instead of straight up 5.
There you go. Trouble here. This is it. Turning point. Finished.
I think at the moment Harold is just totally lost. He's Dana confused, because if he'd used the black ball and thrown that shot, he would have got a strike.
He would have had a chance. Yeah.
You'll see here with the shot, these pins are almost impossible to pick up.
And he only takes one out. A disappointed Harold Pryor. The match starting to slip away. He moves across to lane 11. He really needs to get a move on here. If he struck out from here on in, as we watch this one, he would make 180. His opponent, he finishes all the way, 2-3-5. So big trouble here for Pryor. Oh, toucher. He liked it. There it is. There's the reaction. Crowd liked it. Very spectacular when we see the pins fall like that.
It's great when you do that. You're tripping a 4-9. A bit of luck. 9 times out of 10 it probably misses. But he still has persisted with that ball, Dana.
Yes, he has. Well, he tried the harder surface on the left lane and got a little bit scared with it. Didn't even make a move. So he goes back to this ball, moves in, trips out the 4-9. That was a good shot. And I like that he was still loose. Even after, being in the hole, he still came back and tried to execute well.
Greg here looking for 4 in a row. Settling himself down, takes his time. Very important, Dan. Do you think of a pre-shot routine? Do you have such a thing?
Yeah, I think about how I want to execute when I'm sitting down there. Instead of worrying about what my opponent is or isn't doing, I just try to have a visual picture in my mind of how I want to execute.
10, come on.
He called it and got it. So now the match is well and truly in his grasp. And he liked that one from the moment it left his hand.
Greg loves this shot. Greg at the moment, this year, he's travelled a lot, made a few mistakes. It's all a learning experience. He didn't qualify for the South Pacific this year. He wanted to. As I said, he travelled a real lot, and he really didn't give himself enough chance.
Dana, in this situation, do you look at the scoreboard personally?
No, he knows he's ahead. He's just got to keep going, keep executing these lanes. If you let up a bit, it's probably going to be a split. So that's what he's trying to do, is just stay on it, make a good shot.
Your policy, would it be to concentrate and think of putting 10 in the pit each time?
Yeah, just try. If the lanes you're having a bit of problems with him, like here, you see him going to the line. All he wants to do is try to get the ball to the pocket, stay out of trouble, but still make a good shot, make a reasonable shot. And you got a break here.
As you said, Dana, if you ease up a bit, the ball's just going to take off and dive up through the nose.
That's right.
So you've really got to be on your game all the time.
Exactly right. And just like you had mentioned earlier, very few of the players are trusting it too much to the right. Harold is, but because he's not lined up far enough in the oil, it's coming back too hard. But you notice very few of the players are trusting it to the right. If anything, all their mistakes are inside.
Yeah, everyone, well, I think that's, I don't know about the United States, but out here, the big misses are to the left. If you're going to miss a shot, go left.
I see.
Watch there the style of Greg Brooks. He's on his way. Step ladder final. Pryor cleans up, but it's coming too late for him. That's a double. As we take a break here on Nine's Wide World of Sports, Harold Pryor trails Greg Brooks by 54 pins. Welcome back to the 1989 Goldpin Coca-Cola Classic, the second round match here. Harold Pryor coming off a double in the 10th frame now. really would like to punch it out and at least put a bit of respectability to the scoreline.
Well, he does, Chris. In the shot strike that he got in the 9th frame, he threw a lot harder and a lot more direct, straight at it.
There it is again. Well called, Terry.
Dana, as we said in the 9th frame, he got up, he needed to throw harder. You can see him there, has to throw it over arm. He just shows more direct, gets a good result.
You know, this is tremendous. Even though he knows there's a great chance he's going to lose this match, he's already history. He's still trying to learn. He's still trying to hang in there, not just throw shots just to get out of the match, but he's trying to learn, and maybe he's thinking, you know, if I face this situation again, what will I do?
Which is excellent for out here, because these players don't get the opportunity to bowl on TV that often.
That's right.
A bit of luck at the end there for Pryor. Strikes out, 4 in a row for him. He finishes with a 180.
It wasn't fast enough, Dana?
It wasn't fast enough. He pulled it a little bit inside, so he got a good break here going Brooklyn. But the main thing is I think he's learned if he hits this condition again, what is he going to do? Is he going to stay with that outside line, or is he going to go for it and move in, throw harder?
He really didn't read the lane correctly, did he?
I don't think he did, no.
And 9 to finish off with. So a 179 for Harold Pryor. He sits down. We look at the style here.
Do you think that a lot of players in this country don't truly understand what bowling is about?
I think sometimes because they haven't had the opportunity to bowl on a variety of conditions, that maybe they come up against something like this and they're not sure what to do. But I think they do well, considering that they haven't bowled on TV that much and haven't hit that many different conditions. I think they do extremely well.
Yes, well, you know, we've had a lot of American professionals come out here and they just say, we have no idea how you bowl. I know when I was there and telling them what the conditions are like in this country, they just don't believe it. They just don't believe that the condition can exist.
I think, especially as a right-handed bowler, I think it's difficult here in this country because you have so many bowlers that bowl up the middle. And the heads, the early part of the lanes, start to hook early, and that makes for difficult lane condition.
And spares it up, so he'll get an extra shot. It's all academic here as Greg Brooks looks up at the scoreboard.
You see Greg's style here. He's got a really nice style. He keeps his head down, he keeps his body low, and he's got a very, what I call a flat swing at the bottom. So it allows him a lot of hit time on it.
Projects the ball more down the lane rather than into the lane?
Right, or some bowlers hit actually up on it. It's kind of they hit up and under it, and Greg really, like you said, projects really long through it. And I think that's good to get it through the head. It's what we were talking about, that early part of the lane.
Come up. And finishes off with 8 pins. And successful there. Looks up at the scoreboard, does Greg Brooks. He finishes with a 199 compared to Harold Pryor's 179. So Greg Brooks advances to the step-ladder final. And Harold Pryor bows out and picks up $300, compliments of Goldpin and Coca-Cola.
Don't go away now. We'll take you back to Hobart for more cricket action. Australia versus Sri Lanka. Next on 9.